The year was 2087. Humanity had spread across the solar system, with bustling colonies on Mars and mining stations circling the asteroid belt. Earth remained the jewel of human civilization, but people now looked to the stars with confidence rather than wonder. Captain Sam Harris stood on the bridge of the EDS Valiant, his eyes fixed on the strange readings on the main screen. His ship patrolled the outer reaches near Neptune, a routine mission that had just become anything but routine. "Sir, the signal is getting stronger," said Lieutenant Olivia Carter, her fingers moving quickly across her console. "Whatever it is, it's big and moving fast." Sam nodded, his face serious. "Alert Earth Defense Command. Tell them we've got possible first contact." The bridge crew worked with practiced efficiency. Sam had chosen each of them personally for their skill and calm under pressure. He hoped those qualities would serve them well today. "Captain, we're receiving a transmission," Olivia announced. "It's not in any language we know." "Run it through the translator," Sam ordered. Minutes passed in tense silence. Then the main screen flickered and showed an alien face. The creature had purple-gray skin, 4 eyes set in a diamond pattern, and no visible nose. When it spoke, its voice was deep and mechanical through the translation system. "Greetings, humans. I am Fleet Commander Krav of the Zordian Empire. Your presence has been noted by our exploration vessels." Sam straightened his uniform and stepped forward. "This is Captain Sam Harris of the Earth Defense Fleet. We welcome peaceful contact with your people." The alien made a sound that might have been laughter. "Our scans indicate your technology is primitive. We have conquered 37 star systems. Your species has barely left its cradle." Back on Earth, the news of alien contact spread quickly. The United Defense Council gathered in their underground chamber beneath Denver. General Alan Foster paced the room while advisors and military leaders watched the live feed from the Valiant. "We need to assemble a diplomatic team immediately," he said. Lisa Wright, Earth's top ambassador, was called in from her home in Seattle. Within hours, she was aboard a fast transport ship heading toward Neptune. Her job was to establish peaceful relations with the Zordians and learn their intentions. 3 days later, Lisa sat across from the alien representatives on a neutral space station, hastily prepared for the meeting. The Zordians towered over her, standing nearly 8 feet tall with broad shoulders and 4 arms. "The Zordian Empire extends across this galactic sector," said High Commander Vexlar, the leader of the delegation. "We have encountered many species. Some become our allies. Others," he paused, "others require guidance to find their proper place in the cosmic order." Lisa smiled diplomatically. "Humanity seeks friendship with all intelligent life. We have much to learn, but also much to offer in trade and cultural exchange." Vexlar's 4 eyes blinked in sequence. "Show us your defensive capabilities." "I'm here to discuss cultural exchange and scientific cooperation," Lisa replied carefully. "Military matters can come later, after we've established trust." "Unacceptable," Vexlar said. "The Empire must assess all potential threats." Lisa maintained her composure. "We pose no threat to your empire. Earth only wants peace." The meeting continued for hours, but the Zordians showed little interest in human culture or trade. They asked repeatedly about Earth's weapons, ships, and defense systems. Lisa answered vaguely, growing more concerned with each question. On the final day of negotiations, Vexlar abruptly stood. "We have learned enough. The Zordian Empire acknowledges humanity's existence. We will deliberate on your status within our realm." Without further explanation, the Zordians returned to their massive ships and departed the solar system. Lisa sent an urgent message to Earth. They weren't here for diplomacy. They were gathering intelligence. At the Defense Council meeting, General Foster reviewed Lisa's report with a grim expression. "Prepare all colonies for possible evacuation," he ordered, "and double the production of warships. I don't think our new friends are coming back with gifts." Dr. Nicole Bennett, watching from the back of the room, clutched a data pad containing her analysis of Zordian technology glimpsed during the brief contact. She knew something no one else did. Humanity was far more outmatched than they realized. But perhaps, just perhaps, she had found a weakness they could exploit. 6 months passed without any sign of the Zordians. Life in the solar system slowly returned to normal, though military drills became more frequent and new defense satellites appeared in orbit around Earth and Mars. Sam Harris, now promoted to fleet commander, oversaw the training of new recruits at the lunar base. Each morning he checked the long-range scanners, expecting the worst. Today, those fears came true. Multiple ships detected at the edge of the system, reported the young officer at the scanner station, matching Zordian signatures from our previous encounter. Sam's heart sank. How many? Over 300 vessels, sir, much larger than before. Within minutes, every screen in the solar system displayed the same message. High Commander Vexlar's four-eyed face looked out at humanity with cold disdain. People of Earth, the alien said, the Zordian Empire has judged your civilization to be a potential disruption to galactic harmony. Your technology develops too quickly. Your expansion is too aggressive. For the good of all species, you will be brought under direct Zordian control. The message was simple: surrender or be destroyed. Humanity had 24 hours to decide. On Earth, panic spread through cities and towns. Some people fled to underground shelters. Others looked to the sky with fear. The United Defense Council gathered emergency session in Denver. We cannot surrender, General Foster said firmly. The Zordians have no interest in peaceful coexistence. Their empire is built on conquest. Lisa Wright, who had seen the aliens up close, nodded in agreement. They see us as a resource to be used, not as equals. The vote was unanimous. Earth would fight. Dr. Nicole Bennett hurried into the council chamber, clutching her datapad. For months, she had studied the few scans they had of Zordian technology. Their ships have a weakness, she announced. Their shield systems operate on a frequency our weapons can disrupt. It won't stop them, but it might give us a fighting chance. General Foster turned to his staff. Upload Dr. Bennett's findings to all defense platforms and ships. We need every advantage we can get. The next day, when the deadline expired, the Zordian fleet moved into the solar system. Their first target was Mars. The Red Planet's defense fleet consisted of 30 ships, all hastily upgraded with Dr. Bennett's shield-disrupting technology. Captain Greg Miller commanded the Mars defense from his ship, the EDS Guardian. Stand firm, he told his crew. Earth is watching. Show them what humans can do. The battle for Mars lasted just 6 hours. Human ships fought bravely, and Dr. Bennett's modifications allowed them to damage several Zordian vessels. But the enemy's numbers were overwhelming. One by one, the human ships fell silent. The Zordian fleet bombarded the Mars colony domes. Emergency pods launched toward Earth, carrying the survivors. Captain Miller and the Guardian provided cover for the evacuation until a direct hit cracked their hull. His last transmission to Earth was simple: don't give up. On Earth, people watched in horror as Mars fell. The Red Planet, home to over 30,000 colonists, was now in enemy hands. The Zordians sent another message. This is the cost of defiance. Earth is next. In the Lunar Command Center, Sam Harris received the casualty reports with a heavy heart. So many good people lost in a single day. But there was no time for mourning. The Zordians think this will break us, he told his officers. They expect us to surrender after Mars. They don't understand humans at all. Dr. Bennett arrived from Earth with a team of scientists. Her face was tired but determined. We learned from the Mars battle, she said. Their shields adapt quickly, but I found something else. Their communication system has a vulnerability we can exploit. General Foster joined them via video link. The Zordians have made a critical error, he said. They've shown us their tactics while we still have time to prepare. Earth won't fall so easily. Around the room, officers nodded in grim determination. The first battle was lost, but the war had only begun. and humanity would not go quietly into the night. 1 year passed since the fall of Mars. The war had not gone well for humanity. The Zordians now controlled everything beyond the asteroid belt. Their mining operations stripped Jupiter's moons for resources to fuel their war machines. But humans are nothing if not adaptable. Deep beneath the ice of Europa, Major Frank Collins led a group of survivors who had escaped the initial Zordian attack. 200 soldiers and civilians had created a hidden base in the vast subsurface ocean, using thermal vents for power. "Today we hit their supply depot on Ganymede," Frank told his team. They gathered around a makeshift holodeble showing the Zordian base. "Small team, in and out. We need their communication codes more than we need to blow things up." Sergeant Judy Bell nodded. "My tech team can extract the data in 3 minutes once we reach their central hub." These guerrilla attacks had been going on for months. The Zordians couldn't understand how humans kept appearing, striking, and vanishing without detection. They didn't realize that Europa's ocean provided perfect cover from their sensors. Meanwhile, on Earth, Dr. Nicole Bennett worked day and night in her underground lab. The room was filled with Zordian technology salvaged from damaged ships. She hadn't seen sunlight in weeks. "It's working," she told General Foster as he entered the lab. She pointed to a shield generator they had captured. "Their shields can't block our new particle beam. We finally found a way through their defenses." Foster looked tired but pleased. "We need this victory, Nicole. The civilians are losing hope." "How are the evacuations going?" she asked. "Slow. We've moved most of coastal populations inland, but the underground shelters can only hold so many people." They both knew the Zordians would reach Earth soon. The moon bases had already been abandoned after heavy bombardment. Earth stood alone. In orbit around Neptune, Fleet Commander Sam Harris prepared for the most important mission of the war. His ship, the EDS Valiant, had been rebuilt with Dr. Bennett's new technology. With him were 5 other ships, the last of Earth's deep space fleet. "Target approaching," Lieutenant Olivia Carter reported. "Single Zordian scout ship, just as intelligence predicted." Sam nodded. "All ships maintain position behind the Moon Triton. Wait for my signal." The scout ship followed its regular patrol route, unaware of the trap. When it passed Triton, Sam gave the order. "Now." All 6 Earth ships fired their engines at once, emerging from hiding. The new particle beams lanced out, cutting through the Zordian shields like they weren't even there. "Boarding teams ready," Sam ordered. "Remember, we need that ship intact." For the first time in the war, humans successfully captured a Zordian vessel without destroying it. The alien crew fought hard, but were overwhelmed by Earth's special forces. Within an hour, the ship was under human control. Back on Europa, Frank's team returned from their mission with valuable data. As Judy decoded the Zordian transmissions, her eyes widened. "Major, you need to see this," she said. "The Zordians are arguing among themselves. Their commander is being questioned by their High Council." Frank read the translated messages with growing interest. "They're confused about how we keep adapting to their weapons. Their other conquests didn't fight back like this." He immediately sent the information to Earth through their secure quantum channel. When Dr. Bennett received the data, she made an astounding discovery. "Their entire command structure relies on psychic communication," she told General Foster. "And human brain patterns actually disrupt those signals. We're naturally resistant to their control methods." At the same time, Sam's team was learning to pilot the captured scout ship. The Zordian computers contained star maps, fleet positions, and most importantly, the access codes for their military network. For the first time since the war began, humanity had hope. The Zordians had expected a quick victory against a primitive species. Instead, they found themselves facing an enemy that grew stronger with each defeat. In his command ship orbiting Jupiter, High Commander Vexlar received disturbing reports from multiple fronts. His 4 eyes blinked in confusion as he reviewed the data. How was this possible? How could these humans adapt so quickly? What had begun as a simple conquest was becoming something the Zordian Empire had never experienced before, a real fight. The war entered its second year. Earth forces were pushed back to the orbit of Mars, which remained under Zordian control. The situation looked grim, but Dr. Nicole Bennett was about to change everything. In her lab beneath the Rocky Mountains, Nicole stared at brain scans displayed on her screen. She had been studying the captured Zordian prisoners for months, comparing their brain patterns to human ones. "General Foster, I found it," she said when the military leader entered her lab. "The reason human brain waves interfere with Zordian psychic communication. Our neural patterns create a kind of static in their frequency range." She pulled up a simulation showing how human brain activity created disruption fields that spread through Zordian communication networks. "Can we weaponize it?" Foster asked, leaning closer to the screen. Nicole nodded. "I've already built a prototype. It amplifies human neural patterns and broadcasts them on the Zordian psychic frequency. I call it Project Mindstorm." Foster's tired face showed the first real smile in months. "How soon can we test it?" "We need a real battlefield test. Small scale first, to see how they react." On the bridge of the EDS Valiant, Fleet Commander Sam Harris received the orders from Earth Command. His ship had been chosen to test Dr. Bennett's new technology in battle. "We're deploying to the Deimos sector," he told his crew. "Mars' smaller moon has a Zordian communications relay we need to disable, and we'll be testing a new weapon while we're at it." Lieutenant Olivia Carter looked skeptical. "Sir, the last 3 ships that approached Mars never returned." "That's why we're not going alone," Sam replied. "We'll have company." A small fleet of 5 ships joined the Valiant near the asteroid belt. Among them was a special vessel carrying Dr. Bennett and her Mindstorm device. The plan was simple: approach the Deimos relay, activate the device, and observe its effects on the Zordian defenders before attacking. As the human fleet entered Mars orbit, Zordian patrol ships quickly moved to intercept. There were 12 enemy vessels against their 6. Mindstorm device powered up, Dr. Bennett reported from her ship. "Activating in 3, 2, 1. At first, nothing seemed to happen. Then, the Zordian ships began to move erratically. Some drifted out of formation. Others spun in place. "Their coordination is breaking down," Sam observed. "They can't communicate properly with each other." He gave the order to attack. The human ships fired their particle beams, cutting through Zordian shields. For the first time, they faced the aliens on equal terms. The battle was short but fierce. When it ended, 7 Zordian ships had been destroyed, 3 captured, and 2 had fled. Every human ship survived. "It worked better than we hoped," Nicole told General Foster in their post-mission briefing. "The Mindstorm device doesn't just block their communications, it actually causes them physical pain and confusion. Their entire battle strategy depends on perfect coordination through their psychic network." Foster immediately ordered mass production of the devices. "We need one for every ship, every base, every ground unit." Meanwhile, on Europa, Major Frank Collins received word of the victory at Deimos. His guerrilla forces had grown to over 500 people, with cells hidden on several of Jupiter's moons. "The tide is turning," he told his officers. "Earth is preparing a counteroffensive, and we'll be part of it. Our job is to disrupt Zordian supply lines when the main attack begins." Sergeant Judy Bell had been monitoring Zordian communications since their successful raid months earlier. "They're confused and getting desperate," she reported. "I've intercepted orders from their high command. They're bringing in reinforcements from other star systems." Frank nodded grimly. "They thought this would be an easy conquest. Now they're committing more resources just to hold what they have." On the Zordian command ship, High Commander Vexlar faced the harsh questioning of the Imperial Council, appearing as holograms before him. "How can these primitives resist us?" demanded Elder Mortak. "You promised us Earth would fall within a month." Vexlar's 4 eyes blinked nervously. "These humans, they adapt too quickly. They learn from every defeat, And now they found a way to disrupt our battle mind. We need more ships, more warriors. You shall have them, the elder replied coldly. But know this, Vexlar, the Empire does not reward failure. As the hologram faded, Vexlar felt fear for the first time in his long military career. The humans were not like any species they had conquered before, and he was beginning to suspect they had made a terrible mistake in attacking them. 6 months after the victory at Deimos, humanity was ready to take back the outer solar system. The counter-offensive began with a focus on the Jupiter system, where the Zordians had established their main base. Kyle Rogers, a military engineer who had survived the fall of Mars, had spent months studying Zordian armor collected from battlefields. In his workshop on Earth, he showed his latest creation to General Foster. "I call it reactive armor," Kyle explained, tapping the chest plate of a suit that looked like a mix of human and Zordian technology. "It learns from enemy weapons and adapts to resist them. The more you shoot at it, the stronger it gets." General Foster ran his hand over the smooth surface. "Can we make enough for our frontline troops?" "Production started last week. We'll have 5,000 suits ready for Operation Thunderstrike." Operation Thunderstrike was the code name for humanity's first major offensive. After 2 years of losing ground, Earth forces were finally ready to push back. Dr. Nicole Bennett had also been busy. Her Mindstorm technology had been improved and miniaturized. Now every soldier could carry a personal disruptor that would protect them from Zordian psychic attacks. But her most important creation was something entirely new. She called it ATLAS, Advanced Tactical Logic Analysis System. It was an artificial intelligence designed to predict Zordian battle tactics. The Zordians rely on centuries of tested battle formations, she explained to Fleet Commander Sam Harris during a briefing. ATLAS has studied every encounter we've had with them and can now predict their responses with 86% accuracy. Sam nodded appreciatively. "That gives us a significant edge. We'll know what they're going to do before they do it." Earth's new fleet consisted of 30 warships, all equipped with particle beam weapons that could penetrate Zordian shields. The ships gathered near the asteroid belt, preparing to jump to Jupiter space. Sam addressed the fleet from the bridge of his flagship, now renamed the EDS Defiant. "This is the moment we've been waiting for. Today we take back what's ours. Today we show the Zordians that humanity will not be conquered." The jump to Jupiter space went exactly as planned. The human fleet appeared near Europa, where Major Frank Collins and his resistance fighters had been preparing for this moment. As soon as the fleet arrived, Frank's team activated jammers on 3 of Jupiter's moons. The Zordian communication network went dark, and their ships fell into confusion. "All ships, engage targets as planned," Sam ordered. "Ground forces, prepare for deployment." The battle for Jupiter had begun. Human ships, guided by ATLAS predictions, outmaneuvered the larger Zordian vessels. Kyle's reactive armor protected the soldiers as they boarded enemy ships and stations. From his hidden base on Europa, Frank led his fighters in coordinated strikes against Zordian supply depots. "Hit them hard and disappear," he told his teams. "Make them chase shadows." The Zordians fought back fiercely, but without their psychic network, they couldn't coordinate effectively. One by one, their ships fell to the human offensive. On the 3rd day of fighting, Earth forces secured Ganymede, the largest moon of Jupiter. By the 5th day, they controlled the entire Jupiter system. High Commander Vexlar watched the disaster unfold from his command ship near Saturn. He had underestimated these humans at every turn. Now he was paying the price. "Send the call to all Imperial fleets in neighboring systems," he ordered his subordinate. "We need reinforcements immediately." But the nearest Zordian fleet was 3 weeks away, and Vexlar knew the humans would not wait that long to press their advantage. On Earth, people celebrated their first major victory. News screens showed images of human flags raised on Jupiter's moons. For the first time since the war began, humanity dared to hope they might actually win. In her lab, Dr. Bennett studied data from the battle with growing excitement. The Zordians are following predictable retreat patterns, she told General Foster. Atlas says they'll regroup at Saturn, pulling forces from their outer bases. Foster smiled. Then that's where we'll hit them next. And after Saturn. After Saturn, we take back Mars, Nicole finished for him. And then we push them out of our solar system entirely. The general nodded. After years of fighting for survival, humanity was finally taking the fight to the enemy. And the Zordians were about to learn just how dangerous cornered humans could be. 3 years had passed since the war began. After reclaiming Jupiter, humanity had pushed forward to take back Saturn and its moons. Now, Fleet Commander Sam Harris stood on the bridge of the EDS Defiant, looking at the blue planet Neptune on the main screen. All ships report ready, sir, Lieutenant Olivia Carter said. The battle group is in position. Sam nodded. Begin Operation Deep Strike. The largest human fleet assembled since the war began moved toward Neptune. 50 ships, ranging from small, fast fighters to the massive new dreadnought EDS Retribution, formed a crescent formation as they approached the planet. This was the decisive battle they had been planning for months. Intelligence from captured Zordian ships had revealed a critical weakness. Their faster-than-light drives required a rare element called zorithium. The largest Zordian refining facility in the solar system orbited Neptune, processing the element from the planet's atmosphere. If humans could capture that facility, they could cut off the Zordians' ability to bring in reinforcements or escape. Dr. Nicole Bennett had traveled with the fleet to oversee the deployment of her newest invention. On the science deck of the Defiant, she made final adjustments to a device the size of a small car. The Zorithium degrader is ready, she reported to Sam over the comm. One pulse should destabilize the refined fuel for at least 7 days. Without stable Zorithium, their ships will be stranded. Sam acknowledged her report and turned to his tactical officer. Deploy Mindstorm disruptors at maximum range. I want their psychic network down before they know we're here. The human fleet moved silently through space, Mindstorm devices active. On the Zordian command ships, confusion spread as their communications suddenly filled with static and pain. Humans approaching. A Zordian officer reported to High Commander Vexlar, who had taken personal command of the Neptune Defense Fleet. Their disruption technology is stronger than before. Vexlar's 4 eyes narrowed in anger. Launch all fighters. Protect the refinery at all costs. The space around Neptune erupted in battle. Human ships, guided by the Atlas system, anticipated Zordian maneuvers seconds before they happened. Kyle Rogers' reactive armor protected boarding teams as they captured key Zordian vessels instead of destroying them. From his command chair, Sam directed the battle with calm precision. Group 2, move to Sector 4. Group 3, prepare to deploy Dr. Bennett's device. The EDS Defiant pushed through the Zordian defenses, taking damage but remaining operational. 3 smaller ships formed a protective screen around it as they approached the refinery. Inside the science bay, Nicole held onto a railing as the ship shook from enemy fire. We need to get within 5,000 kilometers of the refinery for the degrader to work, she told the bridge. Sam nodded grimly. We'll get you there. The battle intensified as Vexlar realized the human's target. He directed all available ships to protect the refinery, leaving other positions vulnerable. Major Frank Collins, now commanding a Special Forces team, took advantage of this opportunity. His ship slipped past the main battle and attacked the Zordian rear command vessels. Cut off the head, he told his team, and the body will fall. As the Defiant approached the refinery, Nicole activated the Zorithium degrader. A pulse of energy spread outward, washing over the facility and the nearby Zordian ships. The effect was immediate. The refined Zorithium began to break down at the molecular level. It's working, Nicole reported, watching the readings on her screen. Their fuel is degrading. Their FTL drives will be useless. Sam allowed himself a small smile. All ships push forward. The Zordians cannot escape or call for help now. Realizing he had been outmaneuvered, Vexlar made a desperate decision. Concentrate all fire on the human flagship. We must destroy their leader. The Defiant took heavy hits, systems failing across the ship. Sam was thrown from his chair as a console exploded nearby. Hull breach on Deck 3. Olivia reported, her face streaked with blood from a cut on her forehead. Engines at 40%. Despite the damage, the human fleet pressed their advantage. With their fuel degraded and communication in chaos, the Zordian ships began to surrender one by one. Frank's team boarded Vexillar's command ship, fighting their way to the bridge. The High Commander himself fought fiercely, his 4 arms wielding energy weapons with deadly skill. But in the end, surrounded by human soldiers in their adaptive armor, even he saw the futility of continued resistance. "I surrender," Vexillar said, dropping his weapons. The Neptune defense fleet surrenders to Earth forces. It was the turning point of the war, with Vexillar captured and their main fleet trapped without FTL capability. 1 month after the Battle of Neptune, Earth scientists made an incredible breakthrough. Using captured Zordian technology and the genius of Dr. Nicol Bennett, they built humanity's first faster-than-light ship. The EDS Pathfinder was smaller than the massive Zordian vessels, but it could travel between stars. In the main hangar of Earth's orbital shipyard, Admiral Sam Harris inspected the new vessel. His promotion had come after the victory at Neptune, along with his new mission. "She's ready, sir," said Chief Engineer Kyle Rogers, who had overseen the ship's construction. "We've installed the Zorithium drive using the refined fuel we captured. She can reach the nearest star in just 3 days." Sam nodded, running his hand along the ship's smooth hull. "And the Zordian navigational data. All uploaded to the main computer. We know the locations of 12 star systems under Zordian control." From his cell in the high-security prison on the moon, High Commander Vexillar had revealed much about the Zordian Empire during his interrogation. The information had shocked Earth's leaders. The Zordians aren't as powerful as they claimed, Sam told his officers during the mission briefing. They'd stretched their forces thin, trying to control too many worlds at once. Many of the planets they've conquered have resistance movements, just waiting for help. The plan was simple but daring. Take the fight beyond the solar system. Show the subjugated worlds that the Zordians could be defeated. Build an alliance. Dr. Bennett had joined the mission team. "The Pathfinder has been equipped with our best technology," she explained. "Mindstorm disruptors, particle beams, and a new communication system that can send messages faster than light." The ship carried a crew of 100, including Major Frank Collins and his Special Forces team. Their first destination was Proxima Centauri, where intelligence suggested a Zordian outpost guarded a planet of insectoid beings called the Vril. As the Pathfinder prepared to leave orbit, General Foster spoke to Sam one last time over the comm. "The fate of Earth depends on this mission, Admiral. Find us allies. Show the galaxy that the Zordians can be beaten." Sam saluted. "We won't let you down, sir." The jump to Proxima Centauri was smooth. When the Pathfinder emerged from FTL, they found a single Zordian cruiser orbiting the 3rd planet. "They're not expecting us," Olivia Carter, now a commander, reported from the tactical station. "Their shields are down." Sam gave the order. "Disable their engines and communication systems. Frank, prepare your boarding team." The surprise attack worked perfectly. The Zordian ship was captured with minimal resistance. From the prisoners, they learned about the Vril civilization below. The Zordians used them as labor in mineral extraction. Frank reported after interrogating the ship's captain. "They've been under Zordian control for 15 years. Sam made a decision. "Let's go meet our potential first allies." The Vril were cautious when the human delegation landed on their world. 6-limbed insectoids with iridescent carapaces, they had suffered under Zordian rule. Their leader, a female called Tizurik, spoke through a translation device. "Why should we trust you, humans? You may be just another conqueror." Sam gestured to the captured Zordian ship in orbit. "We've defeated the Zordians in our own system, and now we've come to help others do the same. We don't want to rule you. We want to build an alliance of free worlds. Dr. Bennett demonstrated the Mindstorm technology, showing how it disrupted Zordian psychic abilities. With this, you can protect yourselves from their control. After much discussion, the Vril agreed to join the human cause. Their knowledge of nearby systems proved invaluable. Over the next 3 months, the Pathfinder visited 5 more worlds, each time freeing them from Zordian control and adding them to the growing alliance. The ship returned to each planet with supplies, weapons, and trainers to help the local resistance movements. On the gas giant world Belios, they found aquatic beings called Mirans who could produce a natural enzyme that disrupted Zordian biology. On rocky Torlin, the silicon-based Kroth offered their crystalline technology that could enhance human weapons. Frank Collins trained local fighters on each world, showing them guerrilla tactics that had worked in the solar system. Hit them where they're weak, he taught, then disappear before they can respond. News of the rebellion spread across Zordian communication channels. For the first time in centuries, the Empire faced resistance on multiple fronts. In the Pathfinder's communication room, Sam sent regular updates to Earth. The Alliance grows stronger each day, he reported. The Zordians can no longer focus solely on Earth. Their forces are being pulled in too many directions. 5 years after the Zordians first entered the solar system, Admiral Sam Harris stood on the bridge of the EDS Defiant, now the flagship of a fleet unlike any humans had imagined possible. Around him flew ships from 12 different species, all united against the Zordian Empire. The Zordian homeworld is in visual range, Commander Olivia Carter reported. She had remained his most trusted officer throughout the war. On the main screen, the blue-green planet appeared, surrounded by orbital stations and defense platforms. This was Zordia Prime, the heart of the empire that had once threatened to enslave humanity. All Allied ships report ready, Frank Collins, now a general, said from his position at the tactical station. The Vril have disabled their outer sensor grid. The Kroth crystals are jamming their communications. We have surprise on our side. Sam nodded, feeling the weight of the moment. Begin the operation. The battle for Zordia Prime was the culmination of a year-long campaign that had pushed the Zordian forces back to their core systems. 2/3 of their empire had already broken away, inspired by the human-led alliance. Dr. Nicole Bennett watched from the science station. Her technologies had evolved beyond even her ambitious dreams. The Mindstorm field is at maximum strength, she reported. Their psychic network is completely disrupted across the planet. Sam gave the order. All ships, advance on designated targets. Remember, we want surrender, not destruction. The Allied fleet moved forward, each species using the strengths they brought to the coalition. The insectoid Vril ships darted between Zordian defenses, their small size making them difficult targets. The crystalline vessels of the Kroth absorbed energy weapons and redirected them back at the enemy. And in the center, the ships of Earth led the charge, their hulls bearing the scars of a war that had forged humanity into something stronger than before. On the surface of Zordia Prime, confusion spread among the population. The Imperial military tried to coordinate a defense, but without their psychic network, chaos reigned. Centuries of reliance on their mental abilities had left them vulnerable to this attack. As the outer defenses fell, the Zordian Council of Elders met in their grand chamber beneath the capital city. Elder Mortak, who had once threatened High Commander Vexlar for his failures, now faced the consequences of the Empire's greatest mistake. We must negotiate, urged a younger council member named Trelkin. This alliance is unlike anything we have faced before. They have united species that have hated each other for millennia. Mortak's 4 eyes blinked in rapid succession, a sign of extreme stress. The Empire does not surrender. But as reports came in of more defenses falling, even Mortak had to accept reality. With a gesture of his 4 arms that signified resignation, he gave Trelkin permission to send the message. On the Defiance Bridge, Sam received the transmission from the planet. Admiral Harris, this is Council Member Trelkin of the Zordian Empire. We request immediate cessation of hostilities and offer our unconditional surrender." A cheer went up across the bridge. After 5 years of fighting for survival, the war was over. Humanity had not only defended itself, but had changed the power structure of the galaxy. 1 week later, Sam and Nickel sat across from Trellikin in the Grand Treaty Room on Zordia Prime. Representatives from all allied species surrounded the table. "The Zordian Empire as it existed is no more," Trellikin said, placing his seal on the treaty. "We recognize the sovereignty of all worlds we once controlled. We will make reparations for the damage we have caused." Sam signed for Earth, and each allied representative added their mark to the document. "In place of the Empire, we propose the formation of the Galactic Cooperative," Trellikin continued, "a union of equals, where no species may dominate another." As they left the treaty room, Nickel turned to Sam. "Did you ever think, when we first detected their ships near Neptune all those years ago, that it would end like this?" Sam shook his head. "Never. We were just trying to survive. And now we're helping build a new galactic order," she said with wonder in her voice. Across the galaxy, former Zordian territories celebrated their freedom. On Earth, parades welcomed home the heroes who had saved not just humanity but countless other species. In a quiet moment at the victory celebration, Trellikin approached Sam with a confession. "You should know, Admiral, that many in our historical council argued against attacking Earth. They said your species showed unusual potential, but our military leaders insisted humans would be easy to conquer." Sam smiled slightly. "That was a significant miscalculation." Trellikin's 4 eyes blinked in agreement. "Indeed. Attacking your world was the greatest,